Across much of the country.
It's spring, yeah, and in the deep south, man, they are so close to that Gulf of Mexico, which is just a hotbed of energy for the atmosphere, and you get those right conditions and things just get going. And don't you know, the car manufacturers are watching that same video and going, man, that's a commercial to be made right there. Here's a look at the weather here over the next few hours. Rain, rain, rain. It's already on radar. It is continuing to move in. Once the rain gets here, it's going to lock us in as far as the temperatures go. So a mild night on tap, upper 40s to near 50 to start the day tomorrow. There's a live look at the radar for you. Most of this is relatively light, but it's going to start to pick up in intensity a little bit, especially as we get into the latter part of the evening. We'll get more and more moisture pushing in here. But farther to the west, we are starting to see the leading edge of these showers now getting into areas of Sandusky, over toward Huron, down to Wellington, Bailey Lakes, into the Nova area there in northern sections of Ashland County, into Worcester and Smithville, Orville, and then eventually over toward portions of Brewster and Zor, East Sparta. Y'all are getting some of that rain right now, and that will continue to pick up. There's plenty more where this comes from. This storm system, Matt and I were talking about this, earlier this afternoon. It's really impressive. The models did not handle it as much as it looks to be impressive now. So basically, the models kind of laid out a pretty normal winter storm system with a severe weather component. And today, it's much more complex, and it's just fascinating to watch all this kind of unfold. Obviously, there is the severe threat going on in the south. Meanwhile, there's winter storm warnings posted for the northern portions of the Great Lakes, wind advisories and high wind warnings in the Central Plains states. We have all of this to go before this storm finally departs, and once it does depart, it's going to dislodge some cold air from Canada, and that's going to set us up for a very chilly weekend. For tonight, the severe weather stays south. Note the thunderstorm threat that sneaks up farther to the north, though, but we definitely have a moderate risk with ongoing tornadoes currently on the ground in portions of Mississippi, headed for the Alabama area. But tomorrow, things get a little bit more interesting. While that big squall line and area of severe weather that we have tonight moves east, there will be a developing severe weather threat throughout the Ohio Valley and back into Indiana. It's a slight risk, but there is a risk. And let's go a little more detailed here as to exactly where that risk is. Don't pay so much attention to the line, but we're just looking at where it's denoted where that best risk is. Farther south of Cleveland, not so much up toward the Ashtabula area. So what are these risks? Well, the timing right now looks to be in the evening tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to give it a nice wide berth there. As far as the threats go, wind gusts. Big wind gusts are potential. It's going to be a windy day tomorrow anyway. You throw some thunderstorms in there, and that can propel the winds even faster, called convective gusts. Hail is a possibility. We have a lot of cold air. It's not exactly the middle of summer right now, so hail is definitely a good potential tomorrow. And spin-up tornado chances. There is enough shear in the atmosphere that it looks like we could get a real squirrely situation setting up for us. As far as preps for tomorrow, clean up the yard debris that may be out there, clear the drains, you know the drill, and also keep an eye on where your safety spots are. There is scheduled to be a statewide tornado drill tomorrow. That has been canceled because of the threat for severe weather. So if you hear some kind of a weather alert tomorrow, do know that it's an actual alert. It's not the drill. When we start talking about thunderstorms versus tornadoes, we basically throw in the element of spin. One way that meteorologists like to look at the spin potential that the atmosphere is exhibiting is with something called helicity. This is a physics thing, but basically we're looking at how that spin translates over distance. And when we get into the afternoon tomorrow, this is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this green indicates that we have some positive helicity that is setting up across northern Ohio. So the spin potential is there. The big question is, how much updraft can we get to really support those storms and hold everything together? That's the part that doesn't look really all that great. But this is starting to look a little bit more interesting for the day tomorrow. And when you compare it to the spin potential farther south into portions of West Virginia by tomorrow evening, you can kind of see the green is good. We like green. We can deal with it. But it does look like things are going to get a little squirrely, as I mentioned. So National Designer hour-by-hour forecast. Tonight, no problems, just some scattered showers. Tomorrow morning, we will have rain. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s. That's until the warm front moves through midday. Winds will begin gusting. You'll feel the temperatures go up, and then we start to see these scattered thunderstorms popping. Pay attention tomorrow afternoon as you're out and about, or you're going to be, running around the house or whatnot, because this could turn into one of those situations where everything's fine, and then all of a sudden, it's not, and you want to know where to go. Union Home Mortgage forecast has us in the 60s tomorrow, but look at at the trend here as we head toward the weekend. We may even get some snow back in here by the time we hit Saturday and Sunday. Russ and Laura.
All right, Betsy, thanks so much.